Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 18 on Down the Sidelines, here on your home sidelines at Lakeland University. Matt Crowley, aka Matty Icy.
And here on the away sidelines, here in Stevens Point, Wisconsin, is Brenden aka Brett's Golf 499 Brett's. And we thank you guys for tuning in to this great episode of the Dots podcast today because we have a really good one for you guys. Isn't that right, Matt?
Yes, we do. We have a hell of a agenda to go over. So it should be interesting how everything plays off. And obviously, this Saturday, as a recording on January 11th, is playoff time. So excited to see that get going.
Playoffs, baby. So, yeah, with all the playoffs about to go underway and everything, that means the regular season is over. And as Pat McAfee would state, this week of the football season, this is like the Black Friday or Cyber Monday of the NFL season because of the coaching carousel. So there's some big
Yes.
news around the NFL that has to do with coaching, jobs, hirings, and firings. We've already gone over Cliff Kingsbury, the GM of the Cardinals, as well. We've
Lovey
also
Smith.
gone over Lovey Smith, and then the Commanders' offensive coordinator. I didn't get his name. He is
I
gone.
got
He's
you. I
out of the
got you.
program. You got me.
Yes, I got you. Good old Instagram with NFL.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Oh, of course. Well, where would you be without me?
I can tell you, I would not be in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. I know that one.
Oh.
So,
Yeah, so I guess this just happened 8 minutes ago.
oh
Uh
shit,
Cardinals
drop it.
receive permission to meet with Sean Payton. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
That's that's a pretty interesting one. I did have Sean Payton listed on our script notes or whatever you want to call them.
Mm-hmm.
I listed off Sean Payton, Sean McVay, and Jim Harbaugh. And obviously, so Sean McVay, he's the current head coach of the Rams, but after a really just disappointing year, you can blame injuries for it. You can blame the coaching for it. You could literally blame anything for this past season that the Rams had. But Sean McVay right now, he is um, debating whether or not he should continue coaching. He's had thoughts about leaving and joining, I believe it was Fox Sports Media, and he would call games or do a lot of analytics and stuff because Sean McVay, he's an analytic type of coach. He is one of the smartest people in the NFL business that I've heard about. So it's interesting to see where he's going to go with that. But if he ended up leaving the Rams, I feel like that gives the Rams a lot of options. So as I mentioned and you listed off, Sean Payton, there's a chance he could be interviewed for the job. And Sean Payton, he actually works with Fox Sports right now, so he might have to leave them. So it's like Sean McVay and Sean Payton would be trading places, which would be quite interesting, honestly. And then, as you just said, Sean Payton interviewing with the Cardinals or going to see the Cardinals to be interviewed. And then another coach, Jim Harbaugh, who is the head coach of the Michigan Wolverines. Um, he he did coach in the NFL previously. He
With the
coached for the
49ers.
49ers.
He also
Um,
played for the Colts.
that was right. I remember that he played football. Was
Yeah.
there any other head coaching job that he had or a coaching job before prior to San
No, it
Fran?
was San Fran and then straight to Michigan. Also, I got the name of the Commanders' offensive coordinator, Scott Turner.
So Scott Turner, he's out of here. Yeah, so that's the news on the coaching carousel around the league. We're probably going to see a lot more of it. I've even heard news. This was so yesterday I was listening to it was an ESPN show. It's one of the newer ones. This Justin, that is the name of the show. Sometimes I don't understand how some of those guys really have a job because they said a lot of stuff that just didn't make sense
Yeah.
to me. But one thing that they did mention that made sense, they talked about the Dallas Cowboys and Mike McCarthy. So
Yes, I
if
heard about that.
if the Dallas Cowboys lose to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this weekend, actually on Monday, they play on Monday night. Um, then Mike McCarthy, he might be fired from Jerry World, which I mean I would love to see Jerry World lose. It's always a great sight to see Dallas Cowboys
Also,
just
yeah,
fall down.
I'm pretty sure they will lose because Tom Brady is 11-0 against the Cowboys in his career. So
Isn't that the best record that he has against a team in the playoffs?
I
Or
think just
a
in
team
general,
overall?
just a team overall, he's 11-0.
Oh,
Yeah. So ever since he stepped foot in the league, he's been dominating the Cowboys.
and the Cowboys, they sucked this past week against
Oh
the
my
Commanders.
God,
Oh,
that was so bad.
it was an abomination of a game.
I
from
can already
Dallas.
see that the Cowboys are in postseason form. So
I said this entire year, Dak Prescott, he's not the guy.
he's definitely not the guy. I was kind of backing him up a little bit. I was like, yeah, like maybe give him a couple of weeks without realizing that
Thank you.
what had happened
Thank you.
what
I
had happened
appreciate it.
what had happened on Sunday. I was like, ooh, this is not good.
Like, that pick six that he threw, it was so bad. Like,
It was.
He had like 2 or 3 receivers open, but he threw it to his first option, which, I mean, the corner was kind of jumping the gun on his...
Yeah, he cut the route. He cut the route perfectly.
It was a really good defensive play, but also it was a horrible throw.
It was.
You can't...
It was behind him, I'm pretty sure, so...
It was awful. So, yeah, that's the news that we have here on the coaching carousel, if you want to take it away into our next topic.
Yes. So I actually just added this because I completely forgot. But Cardinals are planning to trade All-Star wideout receiver DeAndre Hopkins. And I don't know if you saw this, but on his Instagram he said forever grateful on his Instagram page. So I think they're gonna try to trade him, see what they can get for him. Obviously, there's teams that want him. Obviously, I can think of like 5 teams. You could get Green Bay, Baltimore, Dallas, even.
Chicago
would be a really good one, yeah.
I
guess the Chiefs, too, because they don't really have a wide receiver one.
I was going to say both New York teams.
New York, New
well.
England, because I feel like he could go to New England because of the bond he has with Belichick. They both respect each other highly.
Yeah.
So I won't be surprised if he goes there. But yeah, I just want to throw that in there real quick because I completely forgot about it. So that's going to be huge for the future of Arizona.
And there was also news the other day. We didn't say this either about Allen Lazard.
Oh yes, he is done in Green Bay.
Green Bay as well.
He's done with Green Bay. It was like the interview right after the Lions. Obviously, everything was like on Aaron Rodgers. He said like he said, how do you feel about that? Rodgers might come back. He's like, shit, I don't know if I'll be coming back here. And he said I kind of had an experience that my first game in Lambeau was against the Lions. My last game in Lambeau was against the Lions. So, I mean, yeah, he's out. I think he's out. He's not coming back. I think his contract is up as well, so that might be why.
Yeah, his contract went for, I believe it was 3 seasons that he played.
A 3-year contract. Yeah, so
you can continue.
Yeah, so that surprised me the most. I saw that, I was like, wait, what? And I saw that, I was like, wow, Packers are really gonna go downhill super fast if they start losing these key weapons. Lazard's their wide receiver too.
Here's the thing, Allen Lazard, he wasn't really like great.
He
Like,
was an average
he was
receiver.
good.
He was an
Yeah,
average receiver. He wasn't no standout like
spot
Justin
on.
Jefferson, but he wasn't terrible like Kenny Galladay.
Okay, so I got the research up. This past season, Allen Lazard signed a 1 year contract for close to $4 million. So, yeah, he's done. His contract's up. He's gonna be a free agent. Green Bay is probably not going to sign him.
I think they might
Um,
try to, but I don't think he'll sign.
and maybe if Lazard leaves, we get DeAndre Hopkins. The thing is, like
That
I
that's
said,
here's the thing. You guys get D Hop. Is D Hop or Rogers? It's one of the two. You can't get both.
okay, with the place that we are in the salary cap space where things are not looking good.
I was gonna say you guys have a really low salary cap, unlike the Bears and Patriots who have like the most in the league.
And that's one reason why I'm super afraid of the Chicago Bears next year. They could seriously make some really big moves, and as I mentioned before, they got that #1 pick. They can do anything.
They're not,
want
and they
to.
even said that they're not throwing the option of taking a quarterback with that pick. They're not throwing that out, so maybe they're gonna keep the pick and draft Bryce Young.
So this is what I heard from the this Justin people. They said that they should 100% take the draft pick and draft Bryce Young over Justin Fields and then trade Justin Fields away. And it's like, I don't know, man. Justin Fields, he has got quite some talent.
I mean,
Bryce Young, you still don't know about him, and I don't know.
yeah, but yeah,
So,
that's kind of like the big thing with the receivers right now. Obviously, with Justin Fields, he could potentially go to Baltimore because that's like a same system.
I'm gonna look up the free agents that are available
I
at
know,
the end of this
I know
year.
Kirk Cousins will be.
Yeah, so top 50 players. Lamar Jackson, he's #1 because he held out on his contract.
Yeah,
Or
he's
no,
not
he
gonna
didn't.
get it. He
I don't
didn't.
think it was he held out on it. I don't think Baltimore offered him.
No, Baltimore didn't offer him a contract, so
They're really stupid for that. They better offer him contract
I don't know.
pretty
Well,
soon.
we'll talk about it a little bit later about what's in our big news.
And then yeah, at #2 is Geno Smith, 3 is Tom Brady. The first wide receiver though on the list is Jacoby Myers actually. He's #8 on the top 10 list.
Yeah,
So
well, D Hop isn't a free agent. They're just trying to trade him away.
yeah,
He's not a free
that,
agent.
that makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, obviously, it's gonna be. I think we say this every year, but it's gonna be a crazy off season. It's gonna be a crazy free agent signings. It's gonna be
I
crazy.
thought last year was nuts.
I remember when we got Zadarius Smith. I was like, "Holy shit, we got." I actually said sloppy seconds, but not really.
Wow.
Not really. He did a lot better in Minnesota.
And then another big one was Devontae Adams. I was super sad and disappointed when I saw that one.
I knew that when it came to the end of the year, with your guys' cap space, it had to be Rodgers or Adams, and you guys picked Rodgers over Adams. So
Well, Rodgers, he already had that contract that was signed, and next
well,
year he's guaranteed the $58 million whether he plays or not.
yeah, honestly, I think Rodgers is going to retire because he doesn't have anything left in Green Bay.
He's guaranteed $58 million next year, dude.
If I was him, I'd just retire and then have the Packers just pay him no matter what. That's kind of like what Zadarius Smith had.
That's a possibility from
Because
there.
Zadarius,
And I
like
really
the
don't want to see
Packers
that
were
happen.
paying like Zadarius Smith $31 million just to play for the Vikings this year. I'm pretty sure.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, a little off on our little tangent about free agents. Next one, Tua Tagovailoa is ruled out for the Buffalo game, and Skylar Thompson is set to start. You guys,
this is a tough blow for the Miami Dolphins.
I mean, I kind of expected this. I knew that Tua wasn't going to start because he needs to stop playing football.
Yeah, for his health and safety, I agree with you 100%. I think it was the athletic training staff for the Dolphins that ended up like ruining his career.
Oh yeah.
They let him stay out there in that game against the Bills, and it
The
absolutely
next,
cost them because in the following game
it was
like
the Bengals
got
game.
knocked out.
Yeah, in the Bengals game.
It was a really scary incident to see there as well. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Miami Dolphins. Na 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 na.
Na 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 na. Hey, goodbye.
Yeah,
We
it
were
was
off.
close. You sounded on mine, but
Oh, it sounded you were off on my end, but anyways.
great. The recording comes from your end too, so when this goes up, it might sound really bad.
Yeah.
I don't have any more news on Tua
No.
being out. He
But
is a key piece to the team.
he
Too
is.
bad.
But happy news. DeMar Hamlin is out and discharged from Buffalo's hospital, so he is on his way back. But he's definitely not playing.
Yeah, it's
I
a good
think
thing.
it was something that Adam Shepard posted saying that the Bills put DeMar Hamlin IR or something. I'm just like,
So many people gave him shit for that.
I'm like, bro, it was kind of obvious.
Here's the thing: he's doing his job.
I mean,
Like,
yeah, but I think everyone
what you
kind of
do.
knew. Everyone knew that was going to happen. And I saw a TikTok like, breaking in news, water isn't wet.
That's facts.
It's like breaking news, the sun is hot. It was like just like obvious things that like in everyday life, and obviously that was like one of those big everyday things that I was like, okay, I think we know he's going to be on IR.
I think he's gonna make a return next year, dude.
He's gonna, if he
Obviously
does,
not this year. Obviously not this year. But
if he comes back next year, he better be the top candidate for comeback player of the year.
oh, absolutely. And I mean, it's just an absolute storybook that we've seen from the Buffalo Bills.
They got emotion right in their back, pushing them forward, so they're gonna go out there and win it for DeMar.
They're gonna destroy the Dolphins. I don't even think that game's gonna be anywhere close.
No.
Like that, I just can't see the Dolphins playing well in that game. We'll talk about that game when we go into our predictions. So, but great news about tomorrow. Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Next on our list, as we kind of stated, talking about the Ravens, Roquan Smith got a contract extension for 5 years, $100 million, the highest paid linebacker in NFL history. And what does this mean for Lamar Jackson?
If I was Lamar Jackson right now, I'd
See
be
ya.
so mad. I'd be like, Baltimore, I am out of here. I'm gonna go to, I don't know what places they got. So there's LA he could go to. There's Las Vegas he could go to. Maybe Miami too. If you
Green
think
Bay,
about it.
possibly.
Green Bay, very possible.
Minnesota.
I don't see as much happening with Minnesota. I feel like you guys are keeping Kirk Cousins.
I really hope we don't, because we gave him a 1-year extension, because last year he was supposed to be done. But then we gave him an extra year. I've seen like mock drafts already that saying that Minnesota's going to draft a quarterback first round, so.
Do you agree with that? It sounds like that you do.
It's interesting because I definitely think it's time for Cousins to leave. Because honestly, as you guys know, we're playing a 325 game. I don't have the highest hopes for us right now. But yes, he has done really good things. Like he has a great connection with Jefferson. That's like kind of like going to be the only thing. Is like, okay, we get a new quarterback in the system. We're going to have to restart all the connections.
Yeah.
But I think if we do get Lamar or a different, like a mobile quarterback, our offense would be 10 times more deadlier.
I would be so afraid if you guys somehow got Lamar Jackson. Um, that the NFC North in quarterbacks, if that happens, like if Lamar went to either Green Bay or if he went to
Chicago.
Minnesota, mm, I don't know about
No,
Chicago because I think Justin Fields is the guy.
I think he
I
is
know a ton
too.
of people don't think he's the guy either, but at least we're in agreement on that. But if you think about the quarterbacks they would have, so Jared Goff, he's guaranteed for the Lions to
Yeah,
be
he
quarterback.
had a great comeback, bounce back year for the Lions.
Uh, is he got snubbed of the Pro Bowl, didn't he?
Yeah, it was
He should have gotten
Hurts.
Pro
It was
Bowl.
Hurts, Cousins, and Geno.
Yeah, he should have gotten the Pro Bowl. I still think he should have. And
I
then
think he's an alternate. Pretty
and then
sure.
we'd see Justin Fields, we'd see Lamar Jackson, and
And
then it
Jordan
either be
Love.
yeah.
Jordan Love or Aaron Rodgers.
I hope it's Rodgers, but um, time will tell
Yeah.
about that one. I got some career stats though for Roquan Smith, about his contract and everything, like why he's deserving of it.
All right, let's
Um,
hear it.
so this season he had 86 total tackles, not bad.
That's really
Uh,
good.
he had 35 assisted tackles, only 2 sacks this season, but he had an interception in the season, and then career wise for him. So the time that he played for Chicago, and then when he went to Baltimore, he's almost at 700 total tackles in his career, 693
Damn.
tackles.
Okay.
Yeah, very very impressive. 242 assisted tackles, and then 18 and a half sacks and 8 interceptions, with one of them being a pick six. And I think that one might have been off of Aaron Rodgers, if I can
Not
remember.
entirely sure, but yeah, that sounds like he deserves 100 million 5 years, 20 million a year guaranteed, and then
Yeah,
like
well deserving.
bonuses and all that, like bonuses, like you get so many sacks, you get so many tackles, you get so many interceptions slash touchdowns, all that.
Well deserving for the Georgia alum. So
Yes, sir. But I think with that, our power rankings, we kind of did like a little bit different here. Obviously, ESPN does not do um, they don't do the wild card, so week 18 still stays the same. Chiefs, Bills, 49ers, Cowboys, Eagles, Bengals, Chargers, Vikings, Giants, and Ravens. And now, then for. And we have two because we found two different articles. We had
yeah,
found the way too early predictions, which was the week, literally the week after the Super Bowl, February 13th, 2022. This is also ESPN. So
this stuff is interesting.
this is super
Like,
interesting because some of these teams aren't even on here. So number one, you got Kansas City. Two, you got Buffalo.
respectable.
Yes. Three, you have the Rams. Oh, how they were wrong.
That is funny, dude.
Four, they had Green Bay.
That is also kind of funny.
Five in Cincinnati, which is respectable.
Yep, respectable.
Six is actually San Francisco. Was under the impression that they were gonna have Trey Lance for the whole year.
Yeah, they got freaking lucky with that one. My God.
Seven is Dallas. I mean, it's Dallas. Eight is
Yeah,
Tennessee, which
that one's
that
laughable too.
that one could have been very. That one could have been very good if they didn't lose seven straight.
If I don't know what it was that happened to Tennessee. It wasn't even when they lost Tannehill. It
They just went downhill.
I really don't know. Yeah,
Nine was New England, which they almost made the playoffs, so that
they
could
they were expecting a lot from Mac Jones
they were.
this season, and he just didn't deliver.
Hmm.
He got close, but
He did. He got very close. And then 10, the Arizona Cardinals.
this list is so
That was
funny,
so
dude.
bad. So that was a way too early one.
And that was the week after the Super Bowl of last year, right?
Yes, this was a week after the Super Bowl.
Okay, so with that list being said, I also pulled up a list. This was from the post draft / like the end of the preseason rankings.
8/23, 2022, so
Yes,
August 23rd.
yes. And so Buffalo Bills #1, respectable. #2 is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because this is when Tom Brady said he was coming back to the team. His team
Yes,
had
I
a good draft.
forgot to say that in the way too early. This is when Tom Brady said he was going to retire. So now he's back.
Yes, Tom Brady is back in these ones. And then at #3, the defending Super Bowl champions, the Rams, pretty funny. At 4 is the Kansas City Chiefs, respectable. 5, the Bengals, respectable. 6, the Packers. 7, the 49ers, still with Trey Lance as their quarterback, still expecting some good things to happen. Then 8's the Chargers, and then 9's the Ravens, and at 10's the Cowboys.
So, well, all but one team, two teams are in the playoffs. Packers and the Rams are the only two teams that are not in the playoffs right now on that list.
It's just funny because this is like top 10. So you're like, okay, these teams, they got probably a 90% or a higher chance of making the playoffs. And then you got teams here on like the Rams, which of course we know what happened to them. Injuries killed them, coaching, like whatever it was. And then the Packers, just poor offensive play throughout the entire season, basically. And then like the defense played mediocre in the first half of the season. It came to kill him. So
I also do want to add something. So I have, as you see on the script, I have the numbers right next to the top 10. So these are for the week 18s, we're doing week 18s compared to like way too early because we thought that would be a little bit of a fun section, see how everything turns out.
Yeah.
So Chiefs are at 1, they're currently ranked 1. Bills are ranked 2, they're currently ranked 2s. Niners are currently ranked 3. Coming into the season, they're ranked 6. Cowboys are currently ranked 4th, and they're
okay. So the top 4, not bad.
No.
Yeah.
Cowboys are ranked 4th. They came in at 7.
Okay.
Eagles at 5. They came in at 19th. 19th. They really did not believe that this team was going to do good.
Why didn't they believe in Jalen Hurts?
I don't think it was Jalen. I don't think it was Jalen Hurts. I think it was because maybe new coaching. Not entirely sure. Maybe they were worried about defense. I'm not entirely sure why.
Here's the thing. I thought they had him as
probably
an
because
candidate.
Probably because it was the NFC East and it wasn't very good.
Yeah, the NFC East is always overrated, if you ask me. I'm going to take a look at the early MVP discussion because I swear Jalen Hurts was in that discussion. If they put the Eagles in at 19, I'm going to lose my shit.
But the 6 Bengals came in at 5, so pretty damn close. Chargers, who are 7th, came in at 11th, so just right outside the top 10. Minnesota at 8 came in at 20th, so just below Philadelphia.
Dude, I pulled this up. This is laughable. Okay, this isn't on ESPN, but this is Sportsnot. It's just one of those sports websites that like has the odds, the Vegas stuff, and all that crap. The 2022 to 2023 NFL MVP odds. So you got Patrick Mahomes at 1 at -800. Then it's Joe Burrow at 2 +750. Then Josh Allen at 3 +1000. And then number 4, Jalen Hurts +1600.
That's a lot though.
But he's number 4 in the NFL MVP discussion. They got the freaking Eagles at 19. And then I'll say one more thing. Justin Jefferson, he was at number 5 at +10,000.
Yeah, we're seeing the MVP is basically a quarterback
award.
The last person that won it was actually Adrian Peterson in 2012 with the Vikings.
not the last non-quarterback,
The last not
right?
quarterback, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyways, number 9 right now is the New York Giants. They came in at 27th.
Holy crap.
Actually, I just left the Ravens out there. I didn't even look up the Ravens because we disagree. So I did the Jags as the number 10. They came in 32nd. The last team in the NFL. Look where they are now. They're in the playoffs.
If if you're a Vegas bettor and you betted on the Jaguars to win the Super Bowl, and you probably bet like I don't know, like 200K or something.
You're coming out with
Holy
20
shit.
million.
You're gonna make freaking bank
You
plus
are.
a lot more.
Yeah. But those are, oh Jesus. Yeah, those are our rankings. Well, not our rankings. The kind of a little fun segment, kind of like right after the Super Bowl, how the teams are going to be, kind of like right before the season where teams are going to be, and now currently where they're going to be. And now ESPN, as we said earlier, they're not going to do playoff standings, well, playoff power rankings anymore. So you're going to have to rely on us, so which is going to be fun.
They said they weren't gonna do that.
They didn't do it for the wild card teams. There was no article on that.
Maybe it hasn't came out yet. Cause like
It's already Wednesday and there's no Monday night game, so they will at least came out at the latest on Tuesday.
or there's no Thursday night game.
Nope.
You mean? You I think you said Monday night, but
Yeah, because there's Monday night, because usually they will release them on Tuesday or
yeah.
Wednesday because of that Monday night game.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, without there being the Monday night game. Dude, that's why would they do that though? Like I feel like
No
their
clue.
rankings are one of the bigger things as a part to their network. But yeah, you guys get us.
Yes, you get us
Woohoo!
down the sidelines power rankings. So
Yes.
we're gonna do our top 10, then we are gonna argue and discuss about what we agree and disagree with. I will
Best segment
say
on the show.
I'm gonna be this with this. These are only playoff teams only. The top 10 playoff teams right now. We were debating before the show to just do teams in general because we both agreed that we would have the Lions at 7 or 6, the 6 through the 8th spot.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I never said the lines would be 16.
That was
I
me.
just
That
said
was
they'd
me.
be in the top 10. Disclaimer from
Okay.
Matt.
Well, I would put the Lions through the 6th through the 8th spot because I would love to see the Lions in the playoffs. I think we both agree on that.
Of course. Like, dude, freaking Dan Campbell, he's got some big balls for making some
He
big
has
plays.
massive balls. But yeah, you want to go first or you want me to go first?
I, um, I'll go first in this one. Why
All
not?
right.
So, we're going to start off with number 10 on the list. I had a really tough time coming up with this list of my top 10. But once I finished it, I've debated a few things with my number 10, but I stuck with this team. We're going with the Dallas Cowboys sitting at the number 10
Wow.
spot. I know
That they were like your top 5 last week, weren't they?
they
Or
were
just
my top.
I was gonna, or it might have
They
been
were
just
at 5 and
outside. They
6.
were like
Yeah.
just inside or just outside.
The thing with the Cowboys, they really concern me.
I'm not gonna lie, I agree with you on this pick.
It's just really tough. If the Cowboys would have had a dominant performance against the Commanders last week, I would be sitting at 5 or 6 with the Cowboys easily, no question. But the way Dak Prescott has performed this season, it's been atrocious.
It's been concerning. That's what it has been.
He's thrown 15 interceptions
He
this
leads
season, and he's only played like 12 football games this year, or 11.
11, I think. Yeah.
Things are just really concerning. The only thing that I would think of a bright side for this team is their O-line. They've stayed healthy, but for some reason, they're having problems running the ball too. I don't know why they're having problems offensively right now, but they are. And even I mean, just as a team completely, they made a lot of special teams errors last week too, and even defensive errors, which absolutely cost them. They lost to freaking Sam Howell.
Sam Howell, maybe the next man up in Washington. We'll find out next year.
So they're going into Tampa Bay on Monday night, and you
I
already referred to Tampa or Tom Brady being 11-0 against the Dallas Cowboys. There's a chance Tom Brady might go to 12-0, but
I like my chances of Tampa.
I just don't really like the Buccaneers that much. Like they played in a poor division this year. Like I don't know.
Well,
what
it's
to
not.
think.
It's basically saying like the 1 year in Tampa one where the football team at the time they went 6-10 and they made the playoffs, almost beating the Buccaneers in the wild card round.
Yeah, that's fair, and that's when they had Heineke in the wild.
Yes,
card
that's when
game,
Heineke went off. That's when he made his big name debut. As a Minnesota Vikings fan, I like to watch that game.
Just being a Heineke guy.
Yeah, Heineke played for Minnesota for a little while. He
Yeah.
was on the backup.
Okay,
All
so
right, you're number
we're gonna
9.
jump to our number 9 here. Yeah, I got the LA Chargers sitting in this spot. I feel really good with the Chargers. They have a really tough football game though coming up. I believe they play Saturday.
Yes, they play Saturday night, and then Sunday night is the
The
Bills.
Bengals. Sunday night's the Bengals. And
Oh,
the
yes, that's right.
Ravens.
Yep.
So the Chargers, this is a really good football team. They made a lot of stupid decisions though last week against the Broncos, and to have a loss carrying yourself into the playoffs, you don't want to be like that, just like the Cowboys.
And not only to mention, they might be without Mike Williams, which is why I think you have them down so low. Because usually will be like your outside top 5 team, maybe a 6 or a 7. But I can definitely see why you put them at 9, and I totally agree with you on that. Because like,
Thanks, man. Yeah.
The head coaching is just awful.
I don't know what Brandon Staley was thinking last week, and to go along with your point with Mike Williams and that back injury, that is huge.
And Joey Bosa.
He's basically their number 1 receiver. Joey Bosa, as well. I mean, he found his way back onto the team after sitting out for a fair amount of time this season, and that's just something that's really tough to see if you're an LA Chargers fan. I know there aren't that many of them, but just something scary. But here's the thing. You guys have a chance. The Jaguars, their defense, they are pretty good, though. But Justin Herbert, key weapon, and then Austin Eckler. He actually led all fantasy football.
He did.
This year. I know we're not really talking about fantasy football anymore, but that is some hope for you guys. You still have Keenan Allen. You still have Keke Palmer, or not Keke Palmer. I can't think of his name. Palmer as another wide receiver, big hands.
Oh, yep, I know.
And then Gerald Everett at tight end. So you guys still have hope on your side. I think Keke Palmer's an actress, if I can remember. So it's not Keke Palmer I'm thinking of.
No.
So number 8, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right.
I think this is a really fair spot to put them in. They're hot ever since their loss to the Lions. They've gone 6-0 now, or 5-0. It's 5-0. They played a heck of a game against the Titans. Got really dicey, really close final minutes, but huge defensive strip from Jacksonville, and then Josh Allen taking it all the way back for the touchdown to bring them into the postseason. This team, they got a lot of momentum behind them. And come off of a win going into the playoffs, I think that's a really big thing. I think that's a big deal.
Honestly, this matchup is going to be referred as the battle of the hair because of Herbert and Lawrence's hair. So I've heard that a lot. It's like, oh my gosh, this is going to be the battle who has the better hair.
I would say Justin Herbert does.
I
don't find Trevor Lawrence to be attractive, to be honest with you.
He made TikToks when he was back in Clemson with his now wife, who was actually on the Clemson's volleyball team, he had actually put on her her game uniform. I thought Trevor Lawrence was a chick for a second. I had to do a double take. I'm like, that's fucking Trevor Lawrence.
It's freaking creepy, man.
You would my immediate action. I was like, that's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hello there.
Hello there. Anyways, enough about Star Wars.
Okay, so I think that defends my case for the Jaguars. Like I said, the Jaguars and the Chargers game, it's going to be a really good Saturday night game to watch, and I don't know who I'm going to pick. Once we jump into our predictions, I'm going to be thinking.
I know I said last episode, I said I would pick the Chargers because of record and they just been playing better, but I don't know now because if Mike Williams is out and Joey Bosa, not looking too hot.
Yeah. Okay, so we're on to number 7. I have the New York Giants sitting at number 7 here. I don't really know what to really say about this team. I feel comfortable with Daniel Jones being at quarterback, even though like every single Giants fan hated on this guy when he got drafted, and every Giants fan hated David Gettleman. I remember one of our friends, Eli, he's a Giants fan. He was like, "Fuck David Gettleman!" Like once the draft happened and they drafted Daniel Jones, and I was like, "Okay, this is a really interesting pick for them." But it seems like it's starting to pay off. You got Saquon Barkley, Saquad. He has potential to literally do anything.
He is going. Team. That's the thing. I think he's like their number 1 receiver. Like he has like the most receptions.
It's definitely not Kenny Galladay. I can tell you that one.
It definitely is not.
Yeah, he kind of acts like an Austin Eckler type of piece for the Giants.
Yeah, but he's not as much involved though.
Yeah, definitely not as much as involved, but he can catch those screen passes. He can make big plays. He can take off whenever. I think if the Giants run draw plays, I think that's going to get them in the best position, or read options. So
yeah, honestly, we know
it's Daniel Jones runs the ball or Saquon Barkley runs the ball. I think they have a shot.
Honestly, we know how these two teams have played already. It was a back and forth game. It wasn't like Minnesota.
They play the Vikings
and Minneapolis, and so like kind of familiar. But US Bank Stadium is going to be even louder now since it's going to be a playoff game. They play on Christmas Eve, which was like okay, maybe they could have been maybe a little louder, but obviously it's like Christmas Eve, so you don't know how many people. I was like, oh, we're out for holidays. Maybe people didn't go there, but. As you said, Saquon is really going to depend on this game. Like I said before, he had 84 yards in the first game. 20 of those came on the last 20-yard score, and then Vikings win it with a 61-yard field goal.
And once again, like I really don't know how these games are going to end up going. It's this playoffs, man. It's going to be one of the best we have seen, even though like we might have saw one of the best playoffs last year, especially with that game with the Chiefs and the Bills that went back and forth and forth.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about this. I completely forgot about this.
Yeah.
They're going to the college football rules for the playoffs. I forgot about this. So each team gets a chance to score. It's like, so if you score a touchdown,
shit.
If you get a touchdown in the first possession, the game's not over because the other team still has a chance to score a touchdown. I had just remembered that since you brought that up. Because so many people were like, oh my God.
That game influenced that.
Yes, because it was like, oh, Patrick Mahomes gets a chance, but Josh Allen doesn't because it was a very back and forth game.
That's right. Dude. Good thing bringing that up.
Yes, we gotta talk more about that. See if there's any actually overtime games that will happen. Because if there's gonna be an overtime game, or if there's a game that's gonna be close into overtime, they're definitely gonna bring that up.
So with that rule, do they start with the ball at the 25 just like college, or
Not
is it
entirely
just like
sure. I think
um
it'll just do regular kickoffs.
when you go into your list, I'm gonna do some research on my computer that's next to me here.
Perfect.
While you go over it. So, okay, we're gonna jump into my number 6, the Minnesota Vikings. I feel like this is also a pretty respectable spot to put them in. They had a great win against the Chicago Bears, try to build some momentum back after a really tough loss. But like you were talking about, the last game that the Vikings and the Giants played, it was back and forth up until the very end. And it seems like this game might be whoever has the ball last will win the game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I remember predicting that this game would go into overtime a few weeks ago.
Week
Like the
16.
the game, yes, the game that they played right before Christmas on Christmas Eve, would go into overtime. And I really thought it was going to. And then Greg Joseph just decides to make the 61-yard field goal. But you know what it is about Vikings kickers in the playoffs, man.
Yeah, I don't really
Um,
trust him since he missed a couple against Green Bay. He also missed an extra point against Chicago.
he missed one of them badly against Green Bay. I didn't see the extra point against Chicago, though.
Yeah,
That
he
game.
missed it. He missed his very first extra point attempt.
Here's the
But
thing, though. He's playing it back in his stadium. The Vikings, they have huge home field advantage in this one, but it's like
yes,
you said, what Kirk Cousins is going to show up on
yes. Are we going to
Sunday?
get? At least we did not get the Monday night Kirk Cousins. That's I like the two games I was afraid of were the Monday night and the Sunday night games. I was really hoping for that noon game so we can get that noon nightmare, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah. So in this one, I feel like it depends what Kirk Cousins we're gonna see. Is Dalvin Cook gonna go off like he did against the Giants
Well,
last
he didn't
time?
really go off. He was just super consistent. It wasn't like oh
And I,
he didn't have like 4 20-yard carries. He was like having solid 6 5 4 yard carries throughout the whole game.
and to me, that's kind of like all you need to do to win a game. If you can maintain possession of the ball for more time, hold on to it, and just have that type of consistency when it comes to running the ball and even passing. So like, how are we gonna see Justin Jefferson, KJ Osborne, Adam Thielen,
I will
TJ
say,
Hawkinson? TJ Hawkinson's gonna be a huge addition though
and the Giants
for the
actually
Vikings
watched
in the
one. I
playoffs.
watched a game preview of this, and the Giants are 28th in the league of allowing they allowed the most like 28th
Passing
with
defense.
not passing defense against tight ends. They're 28th in the league. Like I think it was.
I think TJ Hawkinson is going to be a key piece in this
He's
game, but I
basically our
think
wide receiver too.
yeah,
Basically, he's like the
I
Travis
agree.
Kelsey without Justin Jefferson.
I would say that's a little far. Yeah, I wouldn't say he's like Travis Kelsey. Travis
But
Kelsey,
you know what?
he's
You
like
know what I
two
mean.
guys apart. I do know what you're saying. Like he is close to being that number one. Like if the Vikings didn't have Justin
Yeah,
Jefferson,
he would definitely
yeah,
be the number one receiver. That's what I'm trying to get at.
yes. And then are we gonna see Randy Moss, Justin Jefferson?
Bro, I thought he looked like Randy Moss on Sunday. I'm not gonna lie. I'm
He
like,
had
he looks
he
like
had the
Randy
bushy
Moss.
hair.
He
It
had the
looked the exact
fro.
same.
Maybe he's gonna ride it into the postseason. We'll find out.
All right. So with that being said, I'm gonna jump into my number 5. I have the Philadelphia Eagles sitting at number 5 in the playoffs, and you guys are wondering like, Brenden, what the heck? You got the 1 seed in the NFC sitting at 5. Does that mean you have all AFC teams in your top 4? Not necessarily. Um, the Eagles they did win last week, but they kind of had a tough game
It was a
against the
very
Giants,
ugly
who
game.
played bench players.
They had all
Are
their
you
second.
kidding me?
They had their second strings in. So
I- Like they're gonna have a chance with Jalen Hurts, no question. But my main question is, with this team being so young, do they have that type of, I don't know, thing of being veterans when it comes to the playoffs. Like they're not used to being in this type of environment. How are they
I
going to
think
handle it, you
playoff
know?
experience is a worthless stat in my opinion. I
I
mean,
feel like it really matters. Like you look at Tom Brady, playoff
you just gotta
experience
go
is
out there.
huge.
I mean, if you hype yourself up over, it's like, oh god, it's a wild card game. I don't know what to do. It's like it's no different than any other game, except that the stakes are might be a little higher. But
The stakes are way higher. It's if you lose, you're done. And if you win, you still have a chance of getting that ring that you really want and kissing that Lombardi trophy. Like I feel like playoff experience is a huge thing when it comes to this, and that's why I put the Philadelphia Eagles down at 5. It's not because they kind of struggled without Jalen Hurts, because Jalen Hurts,
they also
he's
have
the MVP of the league, my
they're
opinion.
also 9-22 without their left tackle Lane Johnson.
Is Lane Johnson out?
He's out for the rest of the year, so he's been out ever since
Well,
Minshew took over.
we'll see how the Eagles can handle it with Lane Johnson being out in the playoffs. Like the Eagles, they do get their bye week. I don't think that's gonna do them anything though. Like I have this belief that the bye week kind of screws you as a one
Yes,
seed because
sometimes the momentum isn't there.
yeah, you can carry a lot of momentum from one wild card game into a divisional game and then just take down the one seed. We saw it happen last year with
San
both
Fran,
one seeds,
San Fran, and Tennessee.
both of them.
Yep, Cincinnati came in. San Fran went
Yep.
into Green Bay. They knocked them out.
So I feel like that's my case with the Eagles being at 5. They're a good team though. Like their offense, they still got it, and defense, they still got it. So don't be surprised if we see the Eagles playing a close game in the next 2 weeks. So up to number 4, I got the San Francisco 49ers. I got the 2 seed ahead of the 1 seed.
I agree with that.
Um I feel like this is a really good spot to put them. I've said that for every single choice that I've made, where I've said I feel like this is a pretty good spot for them. But for real though, the 49ers, they are on their third string quarterback, but they know how to handle it. We'll see how Brock Purdy handles the pressure
I
in the
think
playoffs.
that
Though.
you could put any quarterback into the Kyle Shanahan playbook and they'll just be fine. If you can put Lamar in there,
I feel like that's a really good point. Like
you can put Lamar in there, he's gonna be fine. You can put Aaron Rodgers in there, he's gonna be fine. You can put Kirk Cousins in there, he's gonna be fine. You can put Justin Herbert in there, he's gonna be fine.
Kyle Shanahan, he's an offensive genius.
Yes.
Like he is just about a genius as Sean McVay. And
And I think
I'm even gonna say Dan Campbell. I'm even gonna say his name too, because Dan Campbell, he deserves that respect.
yes he does. Yes he
So,
does. The most
so
gutsiest play caller in the NFL, and it always pays off for him. Let's not to mention
I
like
love it.
that third down where it looked like it was supposed to be a screen pass to Amon-Ra, and it was like, oh, catch a quick pitch to DeAndre Swift, who takes it for a first down. Or no, literally it was like third
It
and
was like
15.
33.
No,
Yeah,
it was like
yeah.
third and 15, and they got to like a 4th and 2, and they just ran a little hitch route, and they converted on 4th down and ended the game.
Yeah. Devastating as a Packer fan, but yeah, Dan Campbell, I would say he's one of the geniuses, but he's like a stupid genius, you know? Like he's one of those guys
He
who
really is.
he's gonna do anything he can for his
If
team.
they're out of the playoffs like last year when they were doing so bad, you had nothing to play for. You're going on it for 4th and 15. You're doing fake punts on your own 10.
Hold on a second. I just gotta grab the charger for my laptop because my laptop's about to die.
Oh no.
Keep talking.
Yeah, like if Dan Campbell. I don't know. I really like him as a coach. He's probably one of my in my top 10. Maybe not top 5, but definitely a top 10 coach in my eyes. Detroit is going to be a scary season with them in the NFC North. I think the reign of Minnesota and Green Bay is going to be done. It's going to be Minnesota and Detroit fighting for the NFC North from now on.
be really interesting. I'd almost throw
I don't. You
Chicago in
probably
there
you
too.
probably hear once I upload this, once you watch it, you'll see what I was talking about.
I could kind of hear you when I was grabbing
Oh, okay.
my charger and everything. So yeah, I got San Francisco at 4. The offensive genius of Kyle Shanahan, Brock Purdy, but it's kind of the same thing as the Eagles that I'm thinking. Like, with how he doesn't have any playoff experience at all, but like I'm definitely starting to gain faith in this guy and trust because he's actually showing up. Is he 5-0 now?
Yes, he is 5-0.
So like he's riding a hot streak, the 49ers. They aren't they like the hottest team in the NFL?
They are the hottest team. They're coming in
Like
10
it's
wins
them.
in a row now.
Yeah, I think it's them and then the Bengals.
And to think that they lost to the Bears in week 1.
Yeah. It's super crazy to think about, but I mean that game, the weather,
The
that's crazy.
monsoon. Yeah.
Yeah, and the 49ers defense too, like I mean, you got Greenlaw, you got
Warner, Denzel Ward,
Shear,
Joey Bosa.
Alshear,
I mean, Nick
Nick
Bosa.
Bosa, yeah, Alshear. It's just it's stacked.
It really
I
is.
I didn't understand their fluke of a defense game against the Raiders, but they put things back together against the Cardinals, no question. Except for like the very first couple of plays of the game where I think the Cardinals threw like a Hail Mary type of ball to AJ Green and he just made this incredible catch
Oh, yeah.
over one of the corners and then he kind of juked the two guys out and he got in the end zone. But
77
other than
yards.
that, nothing really went down. So that's why I got San Francisco sitting at number 4. On to my number 3. I have the Kansas
I
City
guess this order.
Chiefs.
But yeah, it's the Chiefs. What else you gonna expect from them? I know
Yeah,
what your 2 and 1 are.
and I put the Chiefs at 3 because to me, I don't believe the 1 seed thing where rest is good. I said it before and I'll say it again. Momentum's gonna carry, and like we could either see it. I don't know what AFC team might play the Chiefs. Like we could see the Jaguars. We could see the
Possibly Miami.
Ravens. We
They
could
get
see
the lowest seed.
Miami.
They get the lowest seed.
I feel like they're gonna have a tough game to deal with, but
Hmm.
I've talked about each team's offense and defense. I'll go over the Chiefs real quick. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Isaiah Pacheco. Isaiah Pacheco has really developed as a running back on this Kansas City Chiefs team, and once again, it's kind of up to how is he gonna handle
Hmm.
being in the playoffs, realizing it's one and done because he's a really young player too. But then, I mean, you got some wide receivers who have the experience, and then the defense as well. So we're gonna jump to number 2. I actually have the Cincinnati Bengals this time. Are you surprised?
That surprises me because you're like Joe Burr this, Joe Burr that, Joe Burr
Oh,
Hall
of
of Fame.
course, Joe Burr definitely Hall of Fame.
As of right now, if he falls off like this next couple of years, he's definitely not going to be Hall of Fame.
Bro, this is the Cincinnati Bengals revenge tour from last year, and so much of the sports media for some reason counted Cincinnati out of like, oh, they're gonna have no chance of making the Super Bowl because it's always gonna be the Bills and the Bengals in the AFC Championship game. Well, guess what? There's another guy stepping in town, and his name is Joe freaking Burrow, and I don't know. I feel like he's played a better season than Josh Allen, respectively.
I mean, I will say this: Josh Allen isn't an MVP quarterback from this year. Last year, definitely
No
he
question.
was,
Yeah,
but this
I
year he hasn't
agree.
played on that same level.
I agree with you, and
But
that's
he's
why
still elite, though.
he's great. He is still great. I agree 100% with you. But Joe Burrow, he slightly has the edge over him.
I'll give you that. I would say Burrow is better than Allen for this year.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm
just
not.
gotta,
I'm not
I
just.
gotta show respect for my guy. And
Well,
I'm glad that you're
yeah.
showing respect for him too.
Yeah, I mean, like obviously everyone knows my number two team is the Bills. So I'm not being
Yeah.
a fanboy. I'm just being a realist here because I'm just like, okay, well, I would,
Yes.
I could be a realist that like this whole playoffs. Like I'm gonna be real. I'm not gonna like obviously, as I said before. I mean, kind of early before the big loss against Green Bay, I had Minnesota going to the championship game. Now I think they're gonna lose in the divisional round.
Yeah. Like things can flip in a dime.
It
Like
really can.
you just never know. And I mean that's huge from you because like you are the Vikings fan of the show,
Oh
and
yeah,
like for you to say that, I mean that's huge. Like that's not you hating on them. That's
that's
like
just me
being
being
real.
real.
That's a
This
realist.
is me
Like
as like
that's
I
a
can
real
see
thing.
our flaws. I can see our advantages. I can see the
And
other team's advantages where they are stronger than us. Our defense sucks.
and that's the thing you got to do as like a fan of your team. You can't just be like, "Oh, we're going all the way." Like
Dallas.
you got to exactly. That's why I hate them. You got to realize that I mean, there's so many more things when it comes to the game of football, but I'm going to continue on with the Bengals. Second hottest team in the NFL. The only thing that just makes me a tad bit nervous is their running game. I mean, their running game, they kind of struggled a little bit this season. They put things together like midway through the season, and then we kind of saw it fall off again. And we've seen them have some battles towards the end of the season, but I love their offense. Joe Burrow, I'm always a fan of him. You know it already. And their defense, they have key pieces. I feel like Jesse Bates. I did not say Kirby Bates this time. I don't even know why I said Kirby last time. No clue. But Jesse Bates, Eli Apple, Chua Hubbard. Let's see. I can't even think of all of their guys, but I mean they got a stacked defensive lineup. And I know they can do some pretty great things, but you know who I have at number one then. So
My AFC team, the Buffalo Bills.
I feel like this is destiny, man.
Josh
One
Allen
way or
deserves a ring, and they have a lot of emotion, and motion can ride very well into the playoffs.
like one way or another, I think we're gonna see the Bills and the Bengals play each other in the playoffs. And would it be the AFC Championship game?
Depending how
I'm trying to
seeding
think
goes.
of
Depends how seeding
that's true.
goes.
I think we're gonna see them play each other in the playoffs, and it's gonna be like the winner of that game will win the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's honestly just how I see it. And but man, this team they are destined to go. I think the way the stars have aligned for them just shows that they're chosen to win it all. And that's not me saying that like the NFL is gonna script all of this. Like, I think there's a true reason why they're going to go far and do this for DeMar. It's literally gonna be something out of a movie.
It
Like,
really will be.
just watch it happen, watch it unfold, because we're about to witness one of the greatest postseasons in NFL history. Yeah, so that concludes my top 10 list. Matt, if you want to jump into yours, I know I kind of spoke for quite some time there.
You're all good. I'll get into mine right away. Oh gosh, hold up.
Oh, yeah, I was
that's
going to look up the playoff rules.
yes. I gotta remember because I'm doing split screen right now, so I'm just gonna try and do. Oh nope. Okay. All right. I guess I'm just have to do this. Oh gosh. All right. There we go. All right. So at number 10, I have the LA Chargers. I've kind of hit on it before. The injuries, head coaching was not the most ideal thing because, well, you might be without Mike Williams and possibly Joey Bosa. So that just really scares me. I don't like what you did with that. How you started them for 3 quarters and you realize, oh wait, Mike Williams is hurt, so I'm gonna take them out. Where you should at least you should have played them. You should either play them at half or you shouldn't have played them at all. You shouldn't have done. Oh, let's play them in 3 quarters because I think the original plan was to play them the whole game. On a game that had no implications. You couldn't get lower and you couldn't get higher. So there's no point. I mean, that's it for the Chargers. I'm going to keep it nice and sweet, just my thoughts. But at number 9, I have their opponent, the Jacksonville Jaguars. So obviously, they are coming into a hot streak with this. Obviously, it's going to be in Jacksonville. Jacksonville's going to get rowdy. I mean, I'm excited for this team to see where it goes. As I said earlier, it's going to be Battle of the Luscious Hair, so it's going to be quite an event. But I'd rather take Trevor Lawrence in this game than Justin Herbert, so you kind of know that game for the predictions. Going into number 8, I have the Dallas Cowboys, which I said that I respect you at 10, and which maybe I should have put them at 10. But I think they're still better than these 2 AFC teams. I would still take them over the Chargers. I still would take them over the Jags. Jags kind of like that. They're on that hot streak, but they're kind of like a team that wasn't good that got really good. And then the Chargers were kind of in that same boat, but because they're riddled with injuries, I would still take.
I feel like we need to give credit to Doug Peterson.
Yes, Doug Peterson.
Coaching this team. He might be coach of the year, hands down.
I don't think he'll be coach of the year. It's going to be close. He might. My top 3 candidates are the Giants head coach, Brian McDanon. I think that's how you say his name. Kevin O'Connell.
McDabble or
something. Brian McDabble, Kevin O'Connell, and Doug Peterson. Those are my top 3. I'm not going to throw... I'm not going to throw... You say you were going to say not about Kevin O'Connell.
I don't know about Kevin O'Connell. If the Vikings wouldn't have got blown out in some of those other games, then maybe. But
we got to really think about this. So the reason I'm not throwing Nick Sirianni in there, because the Eagles were already playoffs teams. They just made them a better playoff team.
I wouldn't put him in there either.
So he doesn't get the Coach of the Year award. I mean, you have the Giants. They weren't a playoff team. Minnesota wasn't, and neither was Jacksonville.
You got to look at the Jaguars, though. They were projected dead last. With the Jaguars being projected nice.
Sorry.
The great audience can hear that just beautiful nostril art.
Thank you. I didn't realize I was going to pick up on that. I don't know how to mute my mic, actually, so.
Yeah, so.
Sorry about that.
They were projected dead last. And they're not dead last. They have a chance of finishing number 1.
They really do. I would be surprised if they make a deep playoff run. I'm going to say that right now. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah,
that's all I got to say.
This is about the Cowboys. This is about the Cowboys. As I said, Prescott, he looks like we said he's played 11 games, 12 games. He's thrown the most interceptions, pretty damn close. I don't trust the Cowboys in the postseason. I think they're going to be 1 and done, and they're playing Tampa Bay, and they're 0-11 against Tom Brady. Which actually leads me into my next team. I mean, Tampa Bay. I said this a lot. I'm not going to count playoff Tom Brady out. I'm not going to give him a chance because he's just going to become a different animal, and this team can actually wreak some havoc. I mean, yeah, they lost to Atlanta because they started Tom Brady in the first quarter and they sat everyone. I mean, smart move. You get them like just to knock their rust off. So you kind of get them in that motion so you don't completely rest them. Then they lose everything. As you said before, having a first round bye may not be the best idea. But I like Tampa. They're home against Dallas. The first time they met, they played in Dallas. But I would still take Tampa Bay over the Cowboys. Because I'm never going to count out Tom Brady.
Respectable.
At number 6, say outside of my top 5, I got my Vikings. Obviously, these top 5 teams are just on another level. Honestly, they host the Giants. I feel pretty damn confident that the Vikings will win against the Giants. They might give me another heart attack, but I still feel pretty confident. I think they know what the scheme is since both of these teams have played each other already. Obviously, Giants' biggest concern is going to be double covering Jefferson. But they did that, and then T.J. Hawkinson goes off. So you got to worry about Hawkinson. If you take care of those two, then you got to worry about K.J. Osborne. Well, we take care of all three of those. That leaves the door open for Adam Thielen. It's like, okay, you take away their passing game. All right, Kirk Cousins can't do anything. What are you gonna do on the ground about Delvin Cook and Alexander Madison? So you really gotta account for everyone on that offense. Obviously, I said our defense sucks. I mean, Patrick Peterson and Harrison Smith both tied for second in interceptions this year, with 5. So they split the difference with 5 apiece. But yeah, Patrick Peterson, he picked off Daniel Jones in the first game that they played in. Minnesota is going to be absolutely wild. It's going to be hard. I think it's going to be Lambeau. It's going to be louder than Lambeau when we were at the game.
Wow.
I think it's going to be louder than that because both of these teams have not seen a playoffs. Minnesota, I think it's been 2 or 3 years. Giants, it's been a while. I think since 2016. 2016 since they took that boat picture.
Yeah, it feels like almost every time we see the Giants get into the playoffs, they make some crazy run. That was back in Eli Manning's time.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, if you think about that 2016 one though, where they lost to the Packers, which was nice. That was the only time where it seems like the Giants, they haven't really done anything in the playoffs.
Yeah. But yeah, so the Vikings, I like the Vikings over the Giants. I think they will do better. They did a good job containing Saquon, but I think you're going to have to put more pressure on Jones and Saquon. Because Danielle Hunter, he sacked him twice in the first time. So I think Danielle Hunter could be a big game changer. Going on to my number 5, I have the Philadelphia Eagles as well. Like we said, they're the 1 seed. I just don't trust them. I mean, it's really going to come out. See, if they play Tom Brady, I'm going to be worried. I'm going to be worried if they play Tom Brady.
The NFC is really dicey.
It's super dicey. Where the AFC, you have your top 3 teams. You have a
strong top 3.
You have a strong 3, and any of those games can go any way they want.
Absolutely.
But if the NFC is super dicey, obviously we know the thing with Minnesota that Kirk Cousins has the most comebacks in NFL history with 8. Not to mention he has the biggest comeback in NFL history by 33 points. But it's just, oh gosh, and Philly, they won by 8 points from the Giants, who started their second strings. And now you're going to rest more of Jalen Hurts, maybe because his shoulder was still bothering him. That's why he didn't play so good. But I don't trust them. You're now you're 10 and 24 without Lane Johnson as your starting offensive tackle. So that's going to be worrying for me.
I think you said 9 and 23.
Yeah, that was before Minshew took when he got hurt. Is when the week that Minshew had taken over. So
got it.
Yeah. Then for my number 4, I also have the San Francisco 49ers.
The 49ers.
Yes.
That's what he had on his script.
Yes.
There you go.
49ers, I mean, you kind of basically nailed it on the head. I'm actually going to switch my 2 and my 3 around real quick because I realized that.
Yeah, you haven't revealed them yet.
No.
So you're given permission, but if they're revealed and you switch them, that's a cardinal sin. So.
Got it.
I pulled up this stuff about the playoffs too, so we can go over that once we're done with our top 10s.
Yes, sir. We'll explain that rule. 49ers, I mean, it should be interesting what Brock Purdy does. He's 5-0 as a starter. And they're hosting Seattle, which should be a very lopsided game in my opinion, unless unless Geno Smith pulls something out of his butt, and they beat them. It's really going to be because, like, obviously Brock Purdy, he's comfortable at home, but it depends if this team makes it an NFC Championship game. I'm going to be worried about when he's away. But the defense is going to definitely be carrying them. Kittle has been amazing since Purdy has stepped in.
Hold on. You said you're going to be worried about when he's away. So
yes,
Philadelphia,
because they're the 2 seed.
So Philadelphia.
If Philadelphia makes it.
Okay, he said if. I didn't hear him say if earlier. Okay.
Yes. Then on to my number 3. I realized this. I was like, oh shit, I'm pretty dumb. I have the Chiefs.
Yes.
So the Chiefs are here at number 3 because these 2 teams have beaten them both, and I think are still better than the Chiefs alone.
That's a really good point you brought up. I didn't bring that one up.
Yes, both of these top 2 teams have beaten the Chiefs. One did it earlier, and the other one did it later in the season. But it's Kansas City. Like I said, these top 3 teams can go either way. Like, these 3 teams, I was like, all right, you possibly have 3 different types of outcomes. Well, you have Bengals, Chiefs, Bengals, Bills, Bengals, Chiefs. Yeah, you have 3. Well, there should be 6.
Those games, I believe, are neutral site games too that you're bringing up.
Yes, this is going to be a neutral site game because of what had happened. So that's going to be insane. Oh, shit. That's going to change everything. Like, Indianapolis denied to be the neutral site, so they don't know where that's going to be played at. So no team is really going to go in with home field advantage.
No, and I feel like the top 3s, they are the most clear top 3s that we could have. Like, they could be flipped, but I'm saying, like, these 3 teams, they are the teams.
Yes. So. At my number 2, your Cincinnati Bengals.
Yep.
I changed them because I realized, like, you know what? They deserve to be too. Like, I would rather they beat them last year in the playoffs, and they beat them this year again. I think they beat them, like, by 8 or 9 points, I'm pretty sure.
I think you're right. They might have won by 10, actually.
So this is a huge game, obviously. Kansas City's a 1 seed. I'm putting the current 3 seed over them. Yeah, 3 seed.
Oh, shit. They won by 3.
Oh, they won by 3. So, yeah.
27-24 on December 4th.
Yes, so, yeah. They won. Both these games have been super close. But for my number 1, my AFC team, the Buffalo Bills. Riding on momentum from DeMar Hamlin. Absolutely blowing the Patriots out of the water. I mean, Naheem Hines has 2 kick return touchdowns. First on the opening kickoff, you literally couldn't write it up. It was like 3 years and 3 months since they had taken one back to the house. It's just storybook written. Like, I think this is going to be, everything's written now for them. They lose DeMar in almost a horrifying fashion, and they go on to win their first Super Bowl.
I agree 100%. The stars, they are so aligned for this team. And, like, people are going to be like, oh, this shit's rigged. Like, the NFL scripted this shit. And it's like, no, this team, they know what they're playing for. They know what they need to do to earn it, and they're going to. But about your top 10, I don't know, dude. The Buccaneers at 7, like, I understand because it's Tom Brady.
That's why I'm not pulling them out. That's the only reason, because
they finished with an 8-9 record. Like, I know the things aren't really based on record-wise. It's, like, based on who we think is there right now.
Yeah, because they're better than the Dolphins. They're better than the Giants. They're better than Baltimore. They're better than the Jags, and they're better than the Chargers.
I don't think they're better than the Giants.
I think they are.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if they're better than the Chargers either, to be frank with you. But
The only reason I have the
I
Chargers
don't
at
know,
10
dude.
is because they are stupid. They played their starters, and now they're paying the price for it.
Well, absolutely, the Chargers were stupid.
That's why they're my 10. But I still believe
I
that
feel like the
they'll
only
still beat Tampa. They will still beat Dallas. So that's why.
I feel like the only reason that you're riding on the Buccaneers is because of Tom Brady. Like,
And that's one of the reasons because I'm not gonna count him out. Like I'm not. I'm never gonna count Tom Brady out of a playoff, no matter what his team's record is.
well, yeah, like I can agree with you on that, but like if you talk about like other statistics, I mean, nothing is in favor of Tampa Bay.
Well,
Absolutely nothing.
right now it is because Tom Brady's 11-0 against Dallas.
Well, okay, so you have that statistic, and it's in Tampa Bay, which I still find to be really stupid because they finished with an 8-9 record in considerably the worst division in football. Like, I see how you have them on your top 10, but at number 7, seven's just too high. I don't know. Like, every other team, though, so
I think the
Bills,
Giants
Bengals,
are too
Chiefs,
high.
really?
Yeah, I think
I
Jaguars
think
can
the
beat them, the Chargers can beat them, and the Cowboys can beat them.
I don't know if the Cowboys could beat the Giants. The Jaguars, maybe. Like, I'm still trying to figure out this Jaguars team because I mean they had a tough one against the Titans, but they came up with the win, and then the Chargers. I don't think they would beat them, but I just see the Vikings and the Giants going back and forth again on Sunday.
Yes, Sunday at 3:25 Central Time
But like I agree with Bills, Bengals, Chiefs, 49ers, Eagles,
in
and then
Minnesota.
Vikings. And then Vikings, yeah.
I feel like
But
the bottom four spots, 7, 8, 9, 10, can all be switched around. Really, they can really be switched. I think the worst team is Miami. I think that's
you could
probably
also say we could switch around the top 3.
top three is a toss up, and the bottom four are a toss up. But the
Yeah.
4, 5, and 6 are pretty steady.
Well, like I'm not saying I disrespect you for putting Tampa Bay in at 7. I just think 7's too high.
Are we going to be
But but
undisputed?
but I don't know. Like
We'll see. Maybe they
we'll
absolutely
see
blow
what
the
happens.
Cowboys out of the water. Maybe they just blow them out of the water, and they deserve to be in that 7th spot.
I don't really want to see either team win that game, but I know a team needs to win.
I'd rather take
So I'm
Tampa.
taking Tampa Bay.
I'd rather take
I'd rather take
Tampa.
Tampa.
All right. You
Same.
want to talk about the playoff rule, or you want to get into our game predictions? We're at hour 22 right now.
Yep. I pulled up the playoff rules. According to NBC Sports, the 2023 NFL playoff overtime rules. If the score is still tied at the end of an overtime period, or if the second team's initial possession has not ended, the teams will play another overtime period. Play will continue regardless of how many overtime periods are needed for the winner to be determined. There will be 2-minute intermission between each overtime period. There will not be a halftime intermission at the second period. The captain who lost the first overtime coin toss will either. Why the frick did something load on my computer? That is weird. I'll continue with that one. The captain who lost the first overtime coin toss will either choose to possess the ball or select which goal his team will defend unless the team has won the coin toss deferred that choice. Each team will have an opportunity to possess the ball in overtime. Each team gets 3 timeouts during a half. The same timing rules that apply at the end of the second and fourth regulation periods also apply at the end of the second or fourth overtime period. If there is no winner at the end of the fourth overtime period, there will be another coin toss and play will continue until a winner is declared. So that is the
That's a
overtime
lot.
rules
That's a
according to
lot.
NBC. The key things in this one though are what you mentioned earlier with each team has a chance to score. So each team gets a possession of the football unless a pick six gets thrown.
So if the first team throws a pick 6, it's over.
It doesn't say that in the rules, but I would really assume that would be like that because that would be one of the dumbest things ever.
Yeah.
Where one team would get two possessions when the other team doesn't get a single possession and they got the pick six on
I mean,
them.
that's
So,
technically like a possession. I mean, they still scored, but
like, you get possession of the ball, but it's your defense who got the possession of it. So, yeah, like, so the coin toss happens. You say you either want the ball or defend, which actually at that point, like, it's not the team that's going to be asking for the ball every single time in
maybe you're gonna
overtime like
want
we
to
typically
defer.
have seen. It'll be really interesting. So, yeah, the key thing to get out of it is that the game goes until the game gets decided, and as well as the both teams get
Yeah.
possession of the ball. I'm a fan of these playoffs, so there's nothing about the ball getting at the 25-yard line like college
No.
football. It's just like regular football after a touchdown or a field goal.
Yeah.
I like it.
I do
So
too. But with that being said, shall we move on to our game predictions?
let's do it. I
All
don't
right.
even know pick for these games.
Our Saturday afternoon game, we have the Seattle Seahawks at the San Francisco 49ers. San Fran is favored by 9.5,
As they should.
as they should, and I'm going to take the 49ers in this one. I'm still trying to decide on a score, but I think they're not going to hit the spread. I think they're going to win by a touchdown. I'm going to go 28-21.
I think a huge thing about this one is
I think
Geno Smith. He's playing in his first playoff game, and
yes.
then same for Brock Purdy. So, like, both of these quarterbacks, they don't really have that experience, and it's in San Francisco, which is a huge advantage for the 49ers. The defense of San Francisco is just way too good, and if you saw how Seattle played against the Rams, Baker Mayfield handed them the game. It wasn't even the defense.
Mm-mm.
So I think the Rams, or not the Rams, the 49ers, they're going to come out firing on all cylinders, and they're going to win 31-17.
Interesting. All right. Next one, the LA Chargers at the Jacksonville Jaguars. I am going to take the Jaguars at home in this one. Because, oh gosh, come on.
Jaguars.
Oh, yeah, shut up. I'm going to take the Jaguars in this one. They're at home.
It auto-corrected to Jaguars. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I would take the Jaguars. They're home. I'm actually going to take the opposite split, so I'm going to take them by +2. I'm going to take them... What do I want? I'll take them just above 24-21.
Man. Gosh, dude. This one is such a toss-up for me. Like,
It really is.
I would flip a coin to determine the winner.
A coin.
Should I actually do that?
Actually, yes, let's do that
That
right
actually
now.
sounds fun. That actually sounds
All
good.
right, heads will be Jacksonville. Tails will be the Chargers.
Okay, so I got my coin out here. I want to see this on camera because I have my script pulled up. Okay, so we got the coin. It's upside down.
Yes.
So that's obviously heads. And then tails is... I don't even know.
What type of coin are we using? Is that a nickel, quarter?
It's a quarter.
It's a quarter.
I don't even know what this is, dude. I've never seen this type of...
Oh, that's one of the states one, isn't it?
This has got to be like a 2022 quarter. I've never seen this back on the quarter before. Yeah, it is from 2022. So, heads, we're going to go with the home team.
Yep.
Tails, the away team.
All right.
All right.
Flick it.
I haven't flipped a coin forever, dude. It landed. It's heads. We're going with the home
Jacksonville.
team.
We're going with Jacksonville.
This might be the first ever and only ever coin toss pick here on the Dots podcast, or maybe even a podcast in general.
Hey, who you gonna pick for the Super Bowl? Heads 49ers. Tails Bills.
As much as I want to like go with the Chargers. They
The coin
screwed
has spoken.
themselves.
Yeah, they really
The
did
co-
screw themselves.
yeah, the coin gods did speak out as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Jaguars also by 3 in this one, but I'm gonna go with 17-14.
Gotcha.
That was a fun pick.
That one is like could go either way. But this one we have the Dolphins at the Bills. I think this is self-explanatory. I'm
Very
taking the
much
Bills.
so.
I think this is going to be an absolute massacre for the Bills. So I'm going to take them 38-10.
Dude, let's talk about the Bills being 13-point favorites.
Yeah,
Most
the most in the wild card
weekend.
right now, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head here.
To be fair, the last time I did say a team will win by a massacre was Dallas and Green Bay. And look how that turned out. Is this the massacre curse? Is this the massacre curse?
That's only one game. To like
2017,
the 2017 that was actually creepy.
that's actually a curse. It's only not happened once.
And it was for a ridiculous game too. So like,
yeah,
I kind of did it in spite. I didn't do it in like saying it would happen.
Because you picked the Eagles to win 2017 against the Saints, and look what had happened.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm easily going with the Bills in this one. It's not even gonna be close. I think they're gonna put up over 40 on the Dolphins.
Is this gonna be a Georgia TCU type of game? 65-7.
I'll go with this. I'll go 42-13 as the final score.
Oh wow! All right. Next, we have New York Giants at the Minnesota Vikings. Obviously, I'm gonna take my Vikings in this one, but I'm gonna take them in Minnesota fashion. They're favored by 3 points.
I have a possession.
Give me Minnesota 28-24.
I think the game's going to be much closer than this. And once again, I'm calling this one as my overtime game, Matt.
Your overtime game.
This will be the first ever, like, different type of overtime experience. I don't think it's really going to affect anything, though. But I'm also taking the Minnesota Vikings.
Home atmosphere.
Very close. I don't think it's going to go down to a field goal, though, because, I mean, the way the Vikings kicks go in playoffs, not going with that. So I'm going to go with 30-24. Minnesota.
All right.
There we go.
I like that. Next, we have the Ravens at the Bengals. I don't even think Lamar's going to play, so this is a no-bringer. Give me the Bengals. I'm going to take the spread. Give me 28-20.
I think the Bengals are going to handle Baltimore pretty well in this football game. I don't really have much to say about these teams. I think the Bengals are clear favorites.
Yeah.
When it comes to this. So, yeah, I'm going to take Cincinnati 34-16.
All right. And now for the Monday game, the last one, Wildcard Weekend, the Dallas Cowboys at the Buccaneers. I'm going to take this as an upset. I think Buccaneers should be favorited to win. So I'm going to take the Buccaneers just because, well, Tom Brady's 11-0 against the Patriots, against the Cowboys, just like how Aaron Rodgers is 16-0 against the Cowboys. I'm going to take them 33-2.
I respect you for throwing in the Aaron Rodgers fact.
Yes, because those two are basically equals, but Tom Brady has more rings. Buccaneers 33-17.
I think we're also going to see another close game between these two teams. I'm surprised Dallas is the favorite. with it being in Tampa Bay. I've scratched my head a few times on this one, and I kind of am right now. But
Coin toss?
no, I can't go coin toss again. Or do I? Do I do it? Do I dare? The home team being heads,
Yes.
and the away team being tails.
Do it. Join the dark side of the force.
All right, Palpatine, I guess. I thought you were gonna be like the Do the Roar kid in Shrek. All right, here we go. Flipping.
All right.
This one went over my computer.
Oh, fuck.
And it's tails.
Oh, so you're going to take the
It is
Cowboys.
tails. It looks like I'm taking
So this is the
Dallas,
only
even
game
though
that we are in disagreement with.
Yeah, and I kind of am in disagreement with the coin right now. But we're going to stick with it here. It'll be a one-possession game, though. It's going to come down to a field goal. But I kind of see this one being a little low scoring, to be honest.
You going to take a 13-10 game or a 17-14?
You know what? We're doing it. 2017, final score.
The curse of 2017!
If the Buccaneers win, this thing is legit.
Oh, yeah.
So, then I feel like this is a respectable score for a game, though.
I think it is, too.
I'm proud. I'm proud of myself for that one. Off the coin flip.
That's good. But
anything else we gotta add, or
nope,
are we gonna
that is going to wrap things up, I do believe. So
this was a fun episode.
It was. It might be a little longer, hour 36 right now, but
just a little bit. But those coin tosses, really
that's funny. That made
really
it entertaining.
Made that fun.
Yes.
Yes.
So I guess without further ado, signing out on the away sideline is Matt Curley, aka Matty Icy.
And then signing out here on the away sideline is Brenden Retzloff, aka 99 Bretts, coming to you from Stevens Point, Wisconsin, as we are just about to get the playoffs.
Woo, doggy!
Underway.
Super excited.
Hell yeah, let's go. Alrighty, guys, that's gonna do it for us here on the Dots Podcast. We will see you guys in the next episode.
We will see you in the divisional round.